Have you ever been confused by how certain programming statements work? It can be really frustrating, especially when you're trying to understand the behavior of something as fundamental as output streams in C++. If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the behavior of cout and its operator. I totally get it. Many programmers, especially beginners and intermediates, have faced similar confusion when dealing with cout and its operator. You're not alone in this, and it's a common topic that sparks a lot of debate. Let's look at the specific question at hand. One user asked about the behavior of cout when using the operator. They mentioned that according to some sources, cout followed a certain behavior with integers, floats, and strings. Sound familiar? If so, let's explore this together. So what's really going on with cout and its operator? The confusion often arises from how different data types are handled. We'll break down the behavior of cout with integers, floats, and strings to clarify this. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how cout works, and I promise you'll feel more confident in your coding skills. To understand the behavior of the cout operator, we first need to clarify what cout is. The user should know that cout is an instance of the OStream class, which is used for output in C++. When the user writes cout followed by the insertion operator, like cout followed by two less than signs, it may seem like a function call. However, it is actually invoking the operator function defined in the OStream class. Now, let's address the user's observation about different data types. When the user inputs an integer, cout.operator works as expected, but when a float is provided, it may be coerced to an integer, which can lead to unexpected results. The user also mentioned that when passing a string literal, it outputs what appears to be a memory address. This happens because string literals are treated as pointers, not as string objects. Lastly, when the user tries to output a variable holding a string, they encounter a compiler error. This is likely due to the absence of the appropriate operator overload for string in the context of cout. Fun fact, did you know that the first programming languages were created in the 1950s? It's amazing how far we've come since then, but some concepts still trip us up. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user clarifies that the behavior of cout.operator depends on the expression provided. They emphasize that the previous answers address specific cases rather than a universal rule. Additionally, they point out that some operator functions are free functions, while others are member functions. They recommend consulting a C++ reference for more details. That's all on that answer. Let's take a look at another one. This user explains that the equivalency of cout operator expressions depends on the type of expression provided. If the expression is a built-in type, then cout and cout.operator are equivalent. However, for user-defined types like string, it uses an overloaded non-member function instead. They also clarify why cout operator with a string literal prints a memory address. This happens because it calls the member method that outputs the pointer's value, not the string itself. In contrast, using cout with a string literal calls the non-member overload that outputs each character. Here's a pro tip. Always check the type of the variable you're working with when using cout. This simple habit can save you from a lot of confusion and errors. And there you have it. You should now have a better understanding of how cout and its operator work. Remember, practice makes perfect. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more programming tips and keep coding confidently.